Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Okay, good. Was just checking.
Welcome. I
Hello,
hope
hello.
everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. Welcome to my Amazon Guys Live AMA podcast, where we come in here every Friday to answer any and all of your Amazon or e-commerce questions. Feel free to drop them down in the comment section below if you're joining us from Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, or LinkedIn. Feel free to drop in your questions. Last week we didn't get to all of them, so the earlier the better. And John and I here will do our best to get through them. But just some quick intros. My name is Zachary Useche. I am a senior brand manager here at My Amazon Guy. We're also joined by another senior brand manager here, Mr. John Urban. We were here last week filling in for Noah, who's still on vacation, traveling with Mr. Stephen Pope. So you might see some of our social media posts if you follow us on LinkedIn there. Well, let's get started. First, before we jump into any questions, I want to share with the audience here today some news that we've been getting this week from Amazon. And I'll go ahead and share my screen here. But some exciting stuff as we're heading into the late part of Q3 and into Q4 this year. We got some news. I want to say it was middle of last week to this week on Amazon, TikTok, and Pinterest kind of partnering together and essentially allowing the users of TikTok and Pinterest to essentially buy products on Amazon without actually having to leave those apps. So that makes it a much more seamless process. And if you are a seller that has products with TikTok social media potential, it's at this point a no-brainer to sign up, maybe even create a TikTok shop and do some posts here, maybe collaborate with some influencers. But TikTok is looking like a decent stream of revenue, another platform that can tap into another customer base. So definitely keep that in mind. Pinterest as well. And you'll be able to see blog posts on this here. But it looks like Amazon is tapping into other platforms out there, which is exciting. All right. And then another quick piece of news here, more on the logistics FBA side. But Amazon is now introducing a Returnless resolutions program, which is essentially offering customers the ability to get a full refund on their product without actually having to return the item. So kind of a double-edged sword situation here because from the seller's perspective, this is great because obviously you don't have any fees associated with the return. And it's a lot more convenient for the customer to just get a full refund and not have to return the product itself. Although I would treat this as a case-by-case basis. This is a brand new program, so I'm not sure I'd recommend it for all products right now. But something to look into. And obviously, if you go into your, let's go here, into your main page here, scroll down over to news, you'll be able to click that here and get redirected to this page. And then you can get a lot more info on how it works, eligibility, enrollment, and many other information pieces here. Awesome. John, anything else to add on that?
No, I believe that's perfect. Yeah, and as you mentioned before, it's a super good opportunity for FBA sellers. It's very important to highlight that it's going to be, of course, this for FBA inventory. At the same time, yeah, we have to pick this with a grain of salt because we've seen, well, lately, and I believe more than ever, Some customers are buying items and they say, for example, that the item is damaged, arrived damaged, to get the refund. And now that they don't have to return the item, so yeah, we'll need to see how this is going to go from now on. But yeah, definitely for sellers, it's a good option.
Yep. I think an option to look into, but again, probably won't apply to all FBA products, like John mentioned. All right, let's jump into our first question coming at us from Jason Strongwater. Hi, Jason. Amazon says have inventory at FBA for Cyber Monday and Black Friday by 10/26, so October 26th. Then they say they will not receive anything more in November, but proceed to say you should have all your needs for December in FBA by 12/1. So December 1st. Does this mean that you should ship all your possible needs for November and December by 10/01? Please provide your timing and insights.
Yep, that's a good one. And let's check some information here because I believe you have there are two questions instead of the same question,
Yeah.
and just want to make sure we address both. So we have everything that it's related to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and then we have everything that is related to our November, end of November, December, or Christmas period. So basically, yes, let me share my screen here so I can show you uh, what are our windows for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So let's go here very fast. So if you create a deal, Jason, here, you will see when you go to your advertising tab and you create a deal that, let's go here, that we have our window. It says here that submit recommended deals by September 6th, 2024 to have a chance to be selected for Black Friday Cyber Monday event. Okay, this is related to best deals and lighting deals, especially for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So if you want to be able to participate, remember that you have until September 6th. This has nothing to do with stock yet. This is just for the deal creation. So if we go here, for example, we have the lighting deal options for these products. We don't have a best deal option. Remember that the difference between a lightning deal and a best deal is that the lightning deal will show our products for 24 hours, for a period of 24 hours inside of that date range that we select. In this case, for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and if we select the best deal, if we see here that instead of lightning deal, we see a best deal badge, then that means that our product will show up for the whole period of that Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday. Okay, the difference will be that if we select this one, for example, let's check if we are, yes, we're eligible for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We see here that we have a fee of $300 and that it's going to run between November 1st and December 2nd, but only 24 hours. Sometimes it says here, yeah, the deal will be scheduled to run on a single day during the selected week. Okay, when we have a best deal option, we'll have the same window, the same date range here, but the fee will be around $1,000. So that's when you have to, and in my opinion, I don't know, Zach, what do you think? But it's always worth it, even if it's $1,000. We need to see these deals most of the times not to make money, but to be part of the party, to create traffic, and of course, that traffic and those sales are going to push and increase our organic ranking.
Absolutely. We definitely want to be participating in any major events. And I think a deals or a best deal or a lightning deal is a great way to do that. And again, think of it as not necessarily a margin heavy, event that we can expect here, because obviously we're going to be seeing a lot of traffic, but we're going to be offering it at a discount just to incentivize our customers a bit better. But a way for us to remain competitive, with ahead of competition, see that VSR boost that we typically see after a November Black Friday period. and then that leads up into December, a fruitful December as well.
Yeah. So now, related to the stock, Jason, that you were mentioning, we just have some information that came in an hour ago. You're mentioning here that the deadline is October 26th, and we have some information here that came on one of the forums that says that is October 19. Why is October 19 date so important? Then for AWD, if you're going to send to AWD or directly to your FBA warehouses, that deadline is going to be October 19. Okay, why? Because when they get the stock before October 19 and you already submitted the deal and committed those units, then Amazon, what will do is that they'll put your stuff, your Prime, well, in this case, Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff, on a separate bin that it's called a prime bin. You can see it here. They said it here. Yeah, they will be available in prime bin for Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. So as I was mentioning before, this applies for AWD, Amazon Warehouse Distribution Centers, and also is the cutoff date for FBA. Okay, October 19th. So take that into account. Make sure you get all your inventory for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so you can guarantee that you will have that available. Now, what happens if you miss the deadline? They are not going to give you those guarantees that your inventory will be available and you can miss some important sales. Okay. Now, related to what you were mentioning on a holiday period, Christmas, that's a different thing. We need to be prepared for Christmas since what, yesterday?
Yeah,
So,
yesterday. Yeah.
yeah, we need to get all of our possible stock inventory as soon as possible. Remember that if you're sending to FBA directly, you will have some restrictions probably in terms of the limit of your capacity manager for the stock. That will depend on how you've been dealing with your account. And if you're sending to AWD, you will have a better shot there and better rates. But also, it's very important to have it as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Agreed. Great question, Jason. I think that applies to
Beautiful.
everyone here. Awesome. We'll move on. Mar EMP says, hello, how can I do a brand name change?
Good. We went through that one last week, right? Like 3 times.
I
Yeah,
think so, yeah.
it's a very common thing. Yeah, and we have to deal with this a lot. So yeah, I will share my screen once again just to show you, one quick option and the best option for this, Mar. So look, let me go here. I believe I had this open. Yeah, I always have this open. This is the suggest changes to your product detail page. You can find these through your brand registry module and go into the help section, or you can just put suggest changes to your product detail page here on your, let's do it here live. So, you can put this here and you will get update title, description, or bullets. Well, let's see if we can go to the self-service tool. No, this is getting me to the product detail page. We used to have a self-service tool here, but it's very tricky to get it. So that's why I always use the brand registry module to get here. Okay, it's called self-service tool. And what you're going to do here, I don't know if we can put the link, Ali, this link for everyone there to have it, because it's a very important tool that we are going to be using for a lot of things. As you can see here, attribute to update, we're going to input the ACE in here, and on the attribute to update, you have a lot of things that you can change in a very, very simple way. In this case, we want to change the brand name. We're going to put our ACE in here, click on next, and then we're going to just put the right attribute or the right brand name that we want to change, and that will create a case with seller support. What is it that is going to happen? Two things. The first one, and most common is that they're going to come back to you and tell you if you have that brand already in your brand registry, it's going to be very simple because they're going to detect that you are the owner of their brand, and probably that's going to go automatically, and it's going to be very simple to change. If not, what they're going to do is they're going to ask you for a lot of documentation. That documentation includes your trademark file receipt, where you have your serial number and all the information of that trademark on your name. You will need to send also pictures of your product, the product of that ASIN that you want to change the brand name on. You need to send some pictures with that brand name, that logo on the product. Okay, it cannot be a sticker. It needs to be printed. It needs to be engraved on the product or on the package of the product. Okay, so make sure you do that. And yeah, I believe with that, you should be good to go with your brand name change without any issues. If seller support requires any other documentation, they will let you know for sure.
Awesome. Yep, Mark, just make sure that you submit all the required information, follow that procedure, and you should be good to go there. Perfect. Next question comes to us from Mr. Solo. Hello, how to solve error 8541 if it appears in the title? So, what is error 8541? Again, I'm not familiar with these error codes here, but I can pull up something that can help us here to figure this out together. Okay, it seems that this specific error is when essentially a title is not sticking, if I understood that correctly. And then the way to fix that is going to be two ways. Either first fix manually through the edit product tab, or through a bulk upload file. So make sure that you have both options completed if you haven't already. The other way to do this is going to be through case management. And I think, yeah, so that's pretty much what it says here. Two approaches to fixing this error code: fix manually, or through product edit, or through Seller Central case management. If case management is not helpful in this, you can always request a phone call. That typically goes a long way. But just be clear and specific in terms of what you want to change, what title you want to update. Make sure you're not having any, prohibited or I want to say keywords that can cause any issues in that title. But case management is going to get you there. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Totally. And make sure, Mr. Solo, also, because 8541 error can be tricky. Most of the times it's very tricky and tells you that it's related to some attribute, but it's really most of the times related with your UPC. Okay, so make sure that you have that your UPC, the one that you have attached to your ASIN, it's really on the name of your company, and that Amazon is not detecting that your UPC is not, doesn't belong to you. Okay, because then you will have to address that first. And as Zach mentioned before, if it's only title related, make sure you don't have prohibited keywords there. The amount of characters also, it's very important. If you're over 200 characters, over 150, or over 80 for automotive, or what's the other one? Beauty, maybe? Industrial. Industrial, it's also has an 80 character limit. So you will have some issues there. So make sure that you're compliant depending on your category with the amount of characters.
Agreed. Good points. Thank you, John. All right. That question is coming to us from Mr. Doug. Hi, Doug. I have a 10-year-old legacy ASIN that's a quantity of 5 identical parts. I want to now offer 1, 3, and 6 pieces, but keep them associated with that older legacy ASIN with lots of great reviews. How's the best way to accomplish this? And then we have a follow-up question here. I also want to upgrade that same old legacy ASIN to include a free bundle item. A free bundle item. Okay. I originated the ASIN and I can change the photo and listings. What do I need to be careful when I do this? Okay, so let's answer that first part here. So you have an ASIN that is comprised of a legacy ASIN that's comprised of 5 parts. Now you want to offer 1, 3, and 6 option. Best way to do that is a simple variation here. If you have a legacy ASIN with lots of great reviews, giving the customers more options through a variation that makes sense, right? So first, making sure that if it's a style or color or flavor variation, which I don't think is the case here, but making sure that it makes sense for when a customer lands on that page, they can clearly see that you have a 1, 3, 5, and now 6 piece option there. In that way, you can retain a lot of those great reviews, right? So those new variations would be under that legacy ASIN, and now you just have it built out a bit better. So that's going to be my suggestion here. And then to the follow-up, I also want to upgrade that same old legacy ASIN to include a free bundle item. Not exactly sure here. So what comes to mind for me first is to do a buy one, get one deal. So if you have a physically bundled ASIN already within your catalog and you kind of want to offer that as hey, buy this legacy ASIN, get this free bundle, you can do that with a buy one, get one deal. Just scroll over to your advertising section, go over to your promotions, and create a buy one, get one offer. That will show up on the detail page as an option to customers, and it'll essentially advertise or market it and say, again, buy this ASIN, get this one free. That's assuming you have the free bundle or the physical bundle already in the ASIN, in your catalog, I mean. I originated the ASIN and I can change the photos and listings. What do I need to be careful when I do this? Not exactly sure, again, what this is referring to here. John, do you have anything?
Yeah, what I can understand. How are you, Doc? Pleasure to see you again, man. What I can understand from what the doc says is that, yeah, first, what you were mentioning about that parentage, that would be exactly the way to go there, Doc. You don't even have to do Vine. It doesn't make sense if you already have that legacy ASIN with a lot of reviews. You just have to put them all together as children of that parent, and you will hop on to those reviews. Make sure when you create the parentage that the reviews are being merged, because sometimes when you put all those children together, you won't see the reviews, that were merged. So just have to make sure of that, and then you will be good to go there. With the second option, yeah, the free bundle item. If you're doing a physical bundle and sending something with with an extra, yeah, like an upgrade, you're going to cannibalize your your ASIN with only one item. So if you want to just launch a new bundle with an extra accessory, for example, yeah, that could be good. You can launch it like that. If not, what Zach was mentioning before, if you have both, the item, the legacy ASIN, and the accessory, let's say, in FBA, yep, you could do a buy one, get one free, and get the other item free. You could create virtual bundles
Yep.
also, and then set so you don't have to create a physical bundle. You have several ways to go here. I originated the ASIN and I can change the photos and listings. I understand that you already created the listings, okay, for those new packs that you're going to be offering. What do I need to be careful when I do this? Just make sure you have a UPC, a GTIN, bought from
Yep.
gs1.org, UPC for each of those new ASINs, and nothing to be careful. Prohibit keywords and usual stuff, but you cannot mess this one, Doc. So
Agreed.
all good.
Agreed. Yeah, I think a virtual bundle can also be a really great option, like John mentioned. If you have 2 existing ASINs, and you feel like you might want to test that and see if it's worth adding as a physical bundle. So a virtual bundle can be that test there. And one way to check that is going to be, let me share my screen here. Through a market basket analysis. So if you have a lot of products in your catalog here, what you can do is go into brands, brand analytics, and hover over to market basket analysis here. What you can look at and set a reporting range, I like to go, the highest here in this case, because we want to get as much data as possible. And try to look at products that are same brand only combinations, right? So, my brand is purchased with, my products are purchased with other products, right? And essentially what you can get here is, for example, hey, this item here has a almost 5% combination rate with this other ASIN, right? So that can kind of be reinforcement here in saying, hey, is it going to be worth it if I physically bundle those? And what that looks like here, and I have an ASIN pulled up, is it's going to show up almost as a variation. So around that same placement, so this particular listing here has a size, has a color, but also has a virtual bundle option here. And what that virtual bundle will look like is, you get this product plus product X plus product Y, for example, right? That bundle priced together. So price 1 plus price 2 is equal to X amount, and you're going to discount it whatever amount you feel comfortable doing. And if you scroll down here, you get exactly what you are purchasing, right? So one of these, that's going to be part of your bundle. Could be a good option here, but if you have it physically bundled, again, you can already just do a buy one, get one offer like we mentioned. Awesome. Good questions, Doug. And hey, if those reviews don't merge for your first part of that question, simple case management with seller support, hey, merge these reviews, we'll do it. Perfect. Our next question coming to us from the B. Why all of a sudden is Funko restricted? I believe Amazon is doing this with the major brands. What do you think? I don't know what Funko is. Tom, do you have any idea?
What I can, I'm thinking that this may be the brand of a product, Funko restricted, and maybe she's referring the B. She's referring to, let's try to look for it here.
Yeah.
And to see if that's the case, to that title, brand name suppression on the title for, let's go here and see if this is the case, the B, and please let us know if this is what you meant. If we go here and look for Funko.
I'm actually on the storefront right now, and it seems that a lot of their products are available for pre-order, but are going to release in late November.
Yeah, let me go on this one. The first one, organic pre-order price guarantee. Yep, it's it has a future launching date. Yep, for October 16, 2024. And you have your brand name here, Funko Pop. So I'm not sure what is it that you mean, B, with Funko being restricted. So please send us another message. You have a vendor contribution here.
Yep.
So let us know what exactly do you mean with this. I believe Amazon is doing this with the major brands. So in case this is what you mean, yes, category dependent, Amazon is restricting or suppressing the brand name from the title. Okay, so usually before it was a requirement, Zach. I mean, you had to put your brand name at the beginning. Right now, they are like testing this. And
Yep.
what you can do, if this is your case, that I don't think it is because I can see your brand name here, but for any other seller, you can just hide, your brand name in the middle or even at the end of the title. And that's how we're sorting that out right now, if you really want to put your brand name on the title.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, just not familiar with this restriction. It looks like a lot of their items are for pre-order. Not familiar with this brand either. All right. Next question coming to us from Samil Ahmed. Can a Pakistani apply for the position of brand manager at MAG? Yes. Anyone can, right? So if you have a good talent, experience, and knowledge of Amazon, anyone can apply for the brand manager position at MAG. We are always hiring, and you can head over to our website and look for jobs. There you go. Just added it on the banner below here. Take a look at the positions that we're offering. And again, if the brand manager position may not be for you, there's tons of other job openings that we have. Yes, of course, Emil.
What was your story, Zach? Do you start as an intern at Mac?
So I came in as a brand manager, right? So I had previous experience, obviously, working with different accounts in the past, and then got quickly bumped up to senior brand manager. And you'll notice that a lot of the directors now in our company started off as either an Amazon specialist or as an intern, and it's really amazing to see where a lot of us are at now. What did you start with, John?
Yeah, that was my case exactly. That's what I wanted to mention it because Samel or Samil Ahmed. I started as an intern here at Mac, and I've been building my career up here. It's an amazing place if you want to grow, and definitely if you want to learn. One of the main things that we need to highlight here for everyone that it's listening is that you don't need previous Amazon experience. We will teach you everything you need to know here, since from scratch to for you to become an expert and to build up your career here. So you can. That's yes is the answer.
Yes is the answer. Yeah. Awesome. Andy H says, same question for SEO. I don't know what question you're referring to. Feel free to type that in the comment section and give us a bit more background there. All right. MJ says, someone created a new account and purchased one of our products to leave a negative review. The account just had a name as customer and no other reviews. How can I get it removed? Short answer is that it'll be very hard unless you have a valid reason, and that's not a valid reason on its own, right? Just having the customer no review history is not a reason on its own. Now, if the customer is breaking some sort of Amazon policy rules that you can kind of go after or sell support for, or if it's, hey, I received my product damaged, that can be removed by FBA if you have your products in FBA and kind of be attributed to that. Otherwise, you're going to need a legitimate reason to have that review removed. If there's an inaccuracy, if they're using profanity, which I've never seen before, but that can be another reason to get it removed. That alone won't do it. And that's just a short answer and the honest truth here. We try to remove reviews whenever we kind of see them and they're kind of unfair. Percentage-wise, we lose more than we actually succeed, and that's my experience. John, do you have anything else to add here?
I mean, it's very difficult, honestly speaking. But MJ, with that said, definitely you will have a better shot. This is, as I can tell you, my own experience, that this is going to be a back and forth with Amazon that can take you months just to get one bad review removed. Okay, there are a couple of cases. For example, if it's a verified purchase, that I believe this is, because you're saying here that the customer purchased, so it's going to have the badge that says verified purchase. So that's going to make it a little bit harder. But the first thing that you need to do is to report. I know it sounds super simple and silly at some
Yeah.
point, but it's exactly what we do before. Let me share here for you to see. Let me get, I don't know, this product, one of these 1-star reviews. And for example, you get here, there are some things that can flag Amazon, that can make your case. For example, when people talk about the price, when you see that the review is referring to the price of your product or comparing your product with a different brand, you will have a better case there, because that's against of Amazon policies. If they are using bad language also. Then when you go to let's go to this one, to the history of this specific person, and you go here, for example, you can see the whole history of the buyer that
Yeah.
it's leaving the review.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, it doesn't have like a big history for reviews posts. So if in your case the buyer that left the review has zero following, zero everything, you have to screenshot this, and you will have a very very good case to address with seller support. But make sure you check on this and address it with seller support, and yeah, you will have a better shot there. But it's not going to be easy in any case.
Agreed. 100%. Awesome. Next question coming to us from Jill Yim, or Gil, excuse me. Sorry if I mispronounced that. What is the most effective services to drive off Amazon traffic? Okay, I've heard of PixelMe for Google Ads, Perch Plus, or Archer for affiliates, etc. Curious to get your thoughts. Immediately, what comes to mind for me is not Google Ads. It's not affiliates. It's something as simple as, if you have a social media following or an email list dedicated to Amazon, you can drive a lot of good, high quality traffic from off of Amazon into Amazon, right? So we have some brands that we work with that have a pretty decent brand presence on Amazon, and they have a good email list, or they have a social media following. And whenever we run a sort of Amazon exclusive deal, we like to promote that, blast it, whether it be through a social post or an email blast to that email list. We make sure that we have attribution links set up for that. So if you go into your advertising console, into your reporting section and hit attribution, you'll be able to create a link that is specific to whatever source you're driving it from. You need to make sure that you're using that link, that attribution tag, and that way Amazon can essentially measure every detail page view, every click, every purchase. And bonus suggestion here is enroll into the brand referral bonus program. That will get you 10% back, credited back into your account for any sales driven from off Amazon traffic. So make sure to get that set up. Make sure to get your attribution link set up. And I would start with email lists and social media following. Now, when it comes to Google Ads, PixelMe, anything that has pixel tracking is going to be helpful here in making sure that everything is trackable. You can gather as much data as possible. Affiliates is also a great way, right? But those are kind of more top of funnel, in my opinion. You're running ads to get customers onto your detail pages. And already on your detail page, you have a list of other competitors popping up in different pieces of real estate on your product page. So again, I might just stick to a loyal customer base, and that can come through email and socials. But I do believe that Google Ads or affiliates can be a good option as well. Yeah. Anything else there to add, John?
No, I believe you cover it perfectly. Inserts, for example, are a very, very good way of driving traffic of Amazon. Remember that you cannot ask for reviews, but you can drive, your Amazon buyers towards your website, get email information. How did they hear about you? They will, on a drop down list, they will select Amazon probably, and then you can even segment your audience and know which are your Amazon buyers that way. And then, yes, with the email marketing campaign, and depending on the type of your product, imagine that you have a product that it's seasonal, or you're selling a product that has a spare that you need to buy in a specific period of time. I mean, you can, schedule a lot of things to send those emails with promotions to those people that already bought your products. So, yeah, if you have social media, that's amazing. Also, make sure that if you have Instagram, Meta, you have all the Facebook pixel integrated, so you can have your Amazon, kind of your Amazon store, showcasing in Instagram.
Yep.
Now remember that you can buy directly from Instagram to Amazon. You don't have to, so the friction was removed. So you have a lot of ways to do it. I love the social media thing, and as Zach was mentioning before, attribution links, brand referral bonus. So you can get that bonus. It's going to be category based, but it's going to be around 10%, and you're going to get that bonus that is going to remove some of your fees from, referral fees. For example, if you're paying 15% of referral fee, that it's kind of what we usually pay, then with that 10% bonus, more or less, you're going to be, uh, you know saving some money, and going that money is going to go to your pocket for sure.
Yeah, essentially it'll offset the 15% referral fee. So you're really just paying a 5% fee. It's nice that
Yeah.
you get some kickback from it, but definitely make sure you're enrolled in that program. And if you're curious, head over to your campaign manager, scroll over to measurement and reporting, hit Amazon attribution, and this is where you can create that link. And again, for every campaign that you create, you're going to be able to see your click-throughs, your total DPV, detail page views, add to carts purchases, and again, your brand referral bonus section. You get to see exactly how much is credited back here. I typically, as a strategy, like to couple this attribution marketing effort whenever we're having a big deal, whether it's Prime Day, whether it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or you're just running a best deal, not necessarily for a specific event, but I like to couple that with some outside marketing as well. So great question, Jill. Hope that helped. Next question coming to us from Rosina. Hey, Rosina, like every Friday, great to be here again. Great to have you. Thanks for joining. I have 3 skin supplement products, same category, slightly different function. So to parent them, I need separate titles for each. However, Amazon uses a single title for all parent variation listings. Help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you see that we are kind of laughing, Rosina, not because of your question, it's because, I don't know what's your opinion, Zach, but Rosina, there's nothing we can do here because this is a category based thing. So beauty products, I don't know, is health. I'm not sure, but for beauty products, for sure, Amazon takes the parent title as the main title for all of your children in
Yep.
that parentage. And I mean, nothing we can do there. I don't know what are your thoughts, Zach, on this.
either just have them as individual ASINs at first, make sure that those titles are titled appropriately before merging them into a parent listing. See if that works, and again, use your bulk sheets to update them. If not, if that ever doesn't work, you can go through cases. And again, if that doesn't work, outside of the box thinking here, but keep those ASINs separate, but create a virtual bundle for them, right? So again, going back to that previous example that I had pulled up, I hope I didn't click out of it. No, I didn't. I'll reshare my screen here, and just to quickly show you what that would look like. Again, if you're unable to parent it due to title restrictions, you can add it as a virtual bundle here, right? So, hey, bundle it with this item. They're going to click on that bundle. Again, it shows up as a variation option. It'll have its own reviews, right? So it'll be treated as an individual ASIN in SKU, but you're essentially bundling one FBA ASIN to another FBA ASIN and offering it at some sort of a discount, some sort of incentive for customers to actually buy this bundle. And again, if you scroll down here, you get ASIN 1 plus ASIN 2, and that is what comes with your bundle.
Yeah, and that site that you're mentioning, it's perfect because Rosina, if you're mentioning that they have slightly different function, you're at risk as if you parent them as incurring into what Amazon calls now
Yeah.
inconsistent child variation, and they break up your parentage without any previous notice. So that's what I believe is going to happen. So having them separately will give the possibility to have their own titles, of course, and then you can do what Zach's mentioning, that it's a perfect way of sorting that out, that it's creating a virtual bundle.
Absolutely agree. Great question, Rosina. Hope that helped. John Aspinall says, what does CTR stand for again?
The legend, it's back. Hey, Mr. John Aspinall.
I don't know if you can answer that, John. That's a tricky one. Just kidding. But nice to see you, John.
Well, just for everyone that it's watching, John Aspinall was the star of the show for a long time here, doing his ASIN review, and CTR, just to answer his question, stands for click through rate, and it's basically your clicks divided by the amount of impressions that you get, multiplied by 100. So this is going to measure the amount or the success of your main image and your title when you are on the SERP, on the search result page. So if you go to your search career performance report, for example, and you see that the amount of people, the amount of clicks that you're getting to your listings is not what you're expecting, then that means that you probably have a CTR issue and that you have a main image issue, that it's not conveying and appealable for your clients and for the people that are visiting or looking for that specific search term. So John Aspinall is the king of the CTR hacking. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, and Team CTR is the easiest way to grow your sales on Amazon. Making sure that you can incorporate some sort of a packaging or a main keyword in your main image so that the customer knows exactly what they're getting just by looking at the image and not having to scroll through your secondary images, your titles, bullet points, or your A+ content. You can tell the full story on that main image here. If you head over to myamazonguy.com/CTR, I think we can add a banner for that. We offer main image hack services. You can just request a proposal here, and we show you a couple different examples here. For example, if you have a flavored item, right, incorporating some sort of a fruit just to get the customers a feel of what they can expect from that. if you're selling in multiple packs, making sure that you can add that, or something like this cookie and baking sheet here, right? Adding some sort of a main keyword out there to stand out. And a small cookie here. We have John Aspinall showing up on our page here as well. Great question. This CTR is what we're pushing again on all accounts here. And you can A/B test your main images just to be extra sure here. But any implementation, any sort of hack that you can add to your main image should, in theory, increase your click-through rate, make you more competitive ahead of your competitors that are in a sea of listings on a search page. CTR super important.
Yeah, and complementing that, Zach, let me show our viewers why very fast we need a main image that conveys exactly all the information that we need.
Yep.
Because as you can see here, for example, I put energy drink here, and from the SERP, the search results page, I can add to the cart without going into the listing, what Zach was mentioning before. So if my category, and this is happening for almost every category right now, and I have to check if my category has this option to add to the cart straight away from my SERP, I need to have a main image here that it's competitive and that conveys everything. Look at this. This is a perfect image hack here that it's telling me exactly the amount of units that I'm going to get, the size of it, the volume, etc., etc., etc. So I can just add it to the cart without going into the listing. So that's why it's so important.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right. Rosina again has another question. Does AMZ celebrate Black Friday, Cyber Monday across multiple marketplaces or only in USA? Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good question. I'm not totally sure. John,
Yeah.
maybe you might be.
I am pretty sure that it's for the US. I don't see Black Friday, Cyber Monday in the UK, but yeah, that caught us off guard. Definitely, let's
Yes.
have a look at it.
Well, I'm joining you guys from Montreal, Canada here, and I know that in Canada we do have Black Friday, and we recognize Cyber Monday as well. So it could just be in the Americas that this is more of a focus on, but when we go into the European, Asian markets, that's where I'm not totally sure. So definitely
Yeah,
Canada and US, you can submit your deals specific to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That's for sure. But when you go into Europe, and again those Asian marketplaces, I'm not sure.
you know that I just found some information here that it's a worldwide thing in every Amazon marketplace. So Rosina, we are not 100% sure, but definitely for the information that I just found, it's something that it's worldwide for every Amazon marketplace. So it started in the US, of course, and now it's spread all over the world. So, but if you can send us a message to podcast@myamazonguy.com, we can follow up on this one and give you, all the possible certainty on this.
Perfect. Awesome. I will scroll over to our next question coming to us from P. Ray. Any tips on creating a parent-child relationship for two existing SKUs, pack size 1 or 2, 1 and 2? I've had 20 batch IDs rejected. Amazon support goes round in circles. For two existing SKUs, pack size 1 or 2. Any tips on creating a parent-child relationship? Well, the only tip I can give you here is really just going to be making sure that it makes sense for customer-facing perspective when it comes to creating or parenting any two-child ASINs, two-child SKUs. I've had 20 batch IDs rejected, Amazon support goes round in circles.
Yeah, what that what I understand here, Pire, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you have two SKUs. I mean, you want to create a parent-child relationship, but you will need a parent ASIN that it doesn't exist right now. Okay, so you cannot make that SKU raising the parent and the other one the child. You will need to create a parent ASIN that will be a new parent ASIN completely, and then have what I see here is that you have this is what is confusing, because you cannot have two SKUs uh, out of the same mason, and that's maybe why is the confusion, with
Oh,
different characteristics.
yep,
Okay, so I believe we're talking about it's asins, not skews. Remember that the asin is going to be this big ball that we have here, and the skews are going to be part of that asin, so it needs to have the same characteristics of the asin. So I don't know if it makes sense, but I will have different SKUs. If, for example, one SKU is going to be Amazon barcoded, the other one is going to be manufacturer barcoded. Talking about FBA, for example, or I'm going to have an FBM listing. So I could have, for example, three different SKUs for the same product, okay, for the same mason,
yep,
with those three characteristics, but all of those are going to be a pack of one.
yep,
You know what I mean? Or a pack of two. Okay, so with that said, if you have a pack of one and a pack of two, that means that you have two different asins, and for you to put them together into a parentage, you need to create a parent asin. Okay, if you're doing a flat file, you need to create a parent asin, and then you will have those two children inside of that parentage. That's maybe what is happening. If you're doing a flat file, you are trying to put one of those asins as a parent, and that's when you will have some issues there.
yeah. So treat your ASIN like an individual product, right? So if you have a 1 pack or a 2 pack, those are two individual products, two individual ASINs, and then your SKUs are essentially how you fulfill it. Whether it's an FBA offer, an FBM offer, one ASIN can have multiple SKUs. So I think that's where the confusion is coming from. Correct us if we're wrong, P. Ray. Feel free to leave a follow-up question in the comments. All right, Rosina says, AMZ wants me to create new listings for brand name change, killing 12-year-old ASINs reviews. Oh, no. And ranking. How to avoid this? How can I escalate as my old listings are legacy ASINs, not trademarkable? Yeah, so I would definitely do anything that you can to not kill those ASINs, those old ASINs. They hold a lot of value, a lot of reviews, a lot of ranking that you've built up historically, right? And no, I would push back with Amazon here. They want you to create a new listing for a brand name change. You say no. Basically, like John mentioned earlier in the live, there's going to be a link that you can follow to request a brand name change. Amazon support will then follow up with some sort of documentation needed on your end, some information. Make sure you provide that. Make sure you follow the steps required to get that brand name change. And if there's a suggestion to create a new listing, it's definitely not something we'd want to do. I don't know if you have anything else, John.
Yeah, what it's making me hesitant is what she says at the end, not trademarkable for those old listings. So that means that those listings are right now listed as generic, or I don't know. Those are under a brand name, maybe that you could enroll them at that time, but you don't have the ownership. So that's what we need to look here. If you are the owner of the brand of that old listing there, then you shouldn't have any issue. I mean, you will have, because indeed you're having issues, but you can push for a brand name change as long as your new trademark, the one that you want to put the brand name change on, it's on your name too. So you can have a product, and you can have two trademarks, three trademarks, and push for that change. You just need to prove, sending the appropriate documentation
Yeah.
that those are your trademarks, and that the product that you want to change the brand name for. Because what happens is that we cannot just say, hey, this is a, I don't know, Nike product, I want to put Adidas on it. Well, I mean, that's not possible. Amazon's going to tell you that's not possible. You need to send me this product that you're showcasing here with the Adidas name on it. So
Yeah.
if you can prove and send those pictures of that product with the old brand name, but that now has the new brand name on it, together with the new trademark documentation, filing receipts, etc., then you will have a case. And if you can support that also with the packaging, with the new brand name on it, and UPCs, and everything,
Yeah.
then you will have a case. Make sure that you build a website also, and on that website you have on your catalog that product with your brand name and the UPC and the ASIN and everything you can on the website.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to support your case.
Yeah. Great ideas. I agree there. Essentially, you want to be building a case with Amazon, and you can provide all that info to really help your situation out a bit better. I'm going to scroll over to some member questions here. I think Doug is following up on the previous question. Reference that legacy ASIN bundle. Bundle may have been wrong word. I just want to add a free item within an existing ASIN to separate me from unauthorized sellers that won't have that item in their attempt to sell under my ASIN. I see. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong here. You have a legacy ASIN and you want to now add something to that listing. Let's say you're selling markers on Amazon. You want to add an eraser in there to stand out from your competition as a free item, and not change anything about your listing. That is, yeah, can be tricky. And I don't know the full implication behind something like that. It's personally something I've never done here, but it can't hurt, right? So if you're providing more value to your customers by adding a free item and standing out amongst your competition from a high level perspective, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that you should see some good uplifts there. But best practices, like just to be on the safe side, I can't see why Amazon would flag that if you're just adding to that ASIN, right? We see supplement brands revamp their ingredient list under the same ASIN or change up their packaging. Like changes to products do in fact happen, and this can be considered one of them. So I think you'd be fine to do that. And then in your marketing, just make sure that you show that free item in the main image, maybe add a bullet point there just to show. Don't mention anything that's like newly added. Any keywords like that, it's not relevant, won't index for SEO very well. But you can make sure to include that in your marketing and your images a bit better and your bullet point as well. Aside from that, I don't have anything else that comes to mind that could be triggering from the Amazon perspective. But interesting question, and it sounds like a good idea overall.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this is yeah, we usually do it to when we want to highlight that, for example, we see on our reviews that we're having some customer complaints because of a defect or whatever, and we just fix those defects, and we have a new batch of products. It's the same product with but fixed. We tend to create like a new child that says, I don't know, V2 version 2 or Pro.
Yeah.
Okay, to convey that the product it's improved, and that will help you also, Doc, if you're having issues with your buy box. Definitely, because I mean, you're going to kill the competition immediately, or the resellers are hopping onto your listing because they won't have the same product. Just as simple as that. So yeah, it's a very good strategy, and no, you won't have any issues if you're sending that physical bundle from your your warehouse to Amazon, especially, or you're even doing FBM. You won't have any issues at all. So it's a good strategy.
Yep. Yep. It's a good way to get rid of those unauthorized sellers that you mentioned. Agreed there. Awesome. We'll pop over to our next question. We got a tip here from Andy H, $1.99. Thank you, Andy. Same question for SEO that I am not sure which question you are referring to. Andy, if you don't mind just giving us the background on that. Would you mind answering my question above re PPC in Germany if you can't speak German? So I'm not exactly sure which question this is referring to. I'm not sure I can see it here, but look, Andy, if you are expanding into another marketplace where you don't know the language, there's a ton of tools out there that you can utilize to make sure that your translation is accurate and that your keywords make sense here. But the same principles apply when it comes to SEO and when it comes to PPC. Be a data-driven seller. Make sure that you are using keyword research with a tool like Helium 10. And then when you are optimizing your PPC or your SEO, making sure that you can track which keywords, which search terms are generating a decent amount of traffic there, and essentially optimize based on that information, right? ChatGPT is going to be a great way, a good start here if you wanted to go that route. So add your listing title, bullet points, and descriptions into ChatGPT. They will translate it for you, and then that would be a good start there. But also make sure that you do your keyword research that is specific to that marketplace, because some search terms for one country can be different for another. So it might not all replicate, although the overlap might be pretty common. So that is my advice here. Sorry, Andy, if I can't find your question regarding Germany, if you had anything specific there, but I hope that is helpful. And then again, feel free to drop it in the comment section if you have any other follow-up questions.
Yeah, we cannot find your question, Andy. Here, I already looked all over the place, but basically, I agree with Zach. Let me show you here, for example, with the graphic example of what Zach was mentioning related to the marketplace. If you have a Helium a tool like Helium 10 or any other of those tools, you just have to make sure that for your competitors, you have two ways to go here. If you haven't launched your product yet, you're going to look for your top 10, 20 competitors. Okay, and you're going to put the ASINs here. Let's talk about Helium 10 in Cerebro, and you have to make sure that you check here for the appropriate marketplace. So for example, if we're talking about Germany, you're going to go for Germany here. You're going to input the ASIN that you want to look for, or the ASINs that you want to look for, and then you will have all the information here that you're going to be using for your SEO or PPC targeting. Okay, depending on the case. So in my opinion, whenever you want to incur into a new marketplace and you don't speak that language, find a friend or someone that can QA your content or those specific keywords, just to make sure that what you're placing on your listing is relevant and it makes sense to the native tongue, native speakers of in this case German.
Great. Awesome. Rosina says, I can create AMZ attribution links, but not sure if I am enrolled with brand referral bonus program. How to check? I was just looking at that here, and there is a page. It's pretty simple. I mean, all you need to do here is click on the enroll button. And if you don't see that, then you might not be eligible. But go into your search tab over here, brand referral bonus program. And then you can click on, I believe it is this page here. And you will see either it's going to say that you're already enrolled in that program, or if not, there's going to be a button here to click enroll. And that's going to be your quick and easy way to do it. It's as simple as that. It's a quick click. And again, if you wanted to check brand referral bonus program, hit search. Did I type it twice? I did. Brand referral bonus program, and click on that first link here under tools. It'll bring you to this page. All right. Great questions so far. I want to just double check and see here if we have any other member questions, which we do. Josh Kennedy says, how do I set up Instagram with Amazon so followers can order directly without the friction? So I think, John, you touched on that.
Yeah, we were discussing that before. Okay, what I've done before, I've integrated my Meta Pixel, Facebook Pixel with Instagram and Shopify. Okay, so the best way to do it here is to have a website. Okay, a Shopify website, for example, and with the Facebook Pixel, you have to Google or go into Facebook and look for Meta. In this case, Meta Pixel. Right now, you will have to do some linking through Instagram. It's a back and forth between Facebook and Instagram. Okay, and basically, you're going to, if you already have your Instagram page with your products there, like a store. Okay, when you link this, you will see a little dot there on top of each of your products that will say shop now. Okay, so with that said, what you need to make sure is that you put behind that attribution link that sends you directly when you click on shop now, instead of sending you to your Shopify site. Or now you can buy directly there in Instagram without going out. But if you want to send people to Amazon, just make sure that you put your attribution link there behind that link. So every time someone clicks on the product, goes and sends you directly to Amazon.
Yep. Well said. All right. Next question coming to us from Cool Peeps. Hi, friends. Hello. Do you recommend shipping UPS from our 3PL to Amazon warehouse or LTL pallet? Is shipping pallet still worth it? What do you suggest for last miles shipping? Thanks. And followed up with a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you for that. I can jump on this, and then I guess you can tag along after, John. But it's going to be case dependent, because some of the accounts that we work with benefit from just a regular case pack shipping over a LTL pallet, or vice versa, right? So it's going to be a cost analysis comparison that you need to do on your end per product to see what is the cheapest option. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to logistics, if it's the same thing but you can get it for less, then why not do that? So do you recommend shipping UPS from 3PL to Amazon warehouse? Yeah, so if you were gonna go the case pack route, UPS is going to be the best way to do it, just because it is a partnered carrier with Amazon. That process is almost seamless, and you can slap a label on your boxes from your 3PL, and that gets shipped and tracked all the way to FBA. Otherwise, LTL pallet, again, it's going to be dependent on your cost analysis here, but LTL pallet is also a great option if you're shipping multiple quantities at a time, depending on the size and volume of your product. And then this follow-up question here, what do you suggest for last miles shipping? Not sure what last mile shipping means. like we need to get into FBA very quickly. If that is what you mean here, and I'm not exactly sure what last miles is, you can expedite your shipping. If you're using UPS or another carrier, you can always expedite that into FBA. Now that FBA process and that check-in process when your products to arrive there is going to be the same. So Amazon will have to filter through all the products that they receive on a daily basis, check your products in, and then eventually they'll become available. But from 3PL to FBA, there are ways to expedite that if you're doing some last minute shipping.
Yep, I agree. That's perfect. Yeah, UPS. Remember the UPS? It's a partner carrier, and FedEx, for example, or other non-partner carriers are, not very friendly with Amazon. They are kind of on, uh, not very. Yeah, basically that they don't like each other. So if you can use UPS to, keep that relation with Amazon, it's always better. Just the difference between LTL pallets or using UPS will depend on what Zach was mentioning before. The size of your shipment and the type of products that you're sending. If you're sending, for example, fragile stuff or heavy stuff, heavy units, you will need for sure, and your best option is going to be to use a pallet or LTL. Compared to UPS, and because also it's going to be cost related, it's going to be cheaper for you to
Yep.
use an LTL or pallet for heavier or large amount of units than if you're using, just small parcel delivery with UPS. Okay, so take that into account. Last mile shipping, what I understand, it's like, when you are fulfilling to the end customer. Just if I mean FBA, it's going to be always the best option. And if you're doing FBM, just make sure that you have partnership with different carriers, and that you can, depending on where you're sending your product, what type of product, and the amount of units, you can pick the best option in terms of cost for you, for the client, and speed. You know, so you need to, like, to pick from your bag the best option for that specific case. If you're doing, you also have the MCN channel. How do you call it? Merchant fulfill channel that you can use through Amazon.
Yep.
To fulfill your from your FBA inventory to others. To an external source. Okay.
Yep. MCF, multi-channel fulfillment. I believe that is the term.
Multi-channel fulfillment.
Yep. Awesome.
Good question, Chris.
Yeah, hope we helped you out there. And then Doug says, thank you guys. So helpful. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Doug. We appreciate that. Glad we can help. And then we also got Rosina here that says, great session. Thank you, Zach and John. Thanks, Rosina. Like seeing you again. Marnie with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much for that. No, you skipped all my questions. Let me make sure that we get to them. Mar, I am going to go through and filter that right away. We do get a lot of questions, so we don't always have time to answer all of them within the allotted time frame, but we'll definitely get to yours if you're still around. So Mars says, my listing can be highly relevant on two different niches. Okay. Can I hit two birds with one stone and target keywords for both niches? Will it be better if I create another listing with a different niche but the same product? Very interesting. Two ways to go about this, in my opinion. Number one is have one ASIN and market it towards two niches. Now, I don't know what those niches are. I don't know how separate they are or if they're slightly relevant with each other. That's going to really depend on the product and then on the category and a bunch of different other factors. But yes, you can hit two birds with one stone. if you are targeting keywords for both niches. What you need to do there is make sure that in your copy optimization, in your, again, your title, bullet points, and descriptions, make sure that you're utilizing both keywords within that mix there. Also on your SEO and your backend search terms. SEO backend search terms are a great way to add keywords that you don't necessarily want to be on the front of the page, but you can still index and rank for. Things like misspellings or Spanish keywords is something that we often put there. And then when it comes to advertising, if you're doing PPC, make sure that if you are, again, having one ASIN and targeting two different types of niches and keywords, have them separated into different campaigns, right? So you know that this particular group of keywords is converting at this rate and has an ACoS of whatever, and this other group has a different stats, right? So segmenting there can really help you determine what's better, what's not. But another way to go about it is create another listing, like you said, where you are targeting and marketing to a different niche, but it's the same product, right? We call that unkidding here at My Amazon Guy, and we've done it for several accounts where it makes sense to do it, right? So again, same product, just marketed differently in a different niche. And again, those keywords can be isolated between those two ASINs. The PPC can still be segmented between each other. So it's really dependent. I say both are good options, but it's going to depend on how different those niches are from one another. Anything else there, John?
Yeah, that's a great strategy. I can even tell you that we've done that a lot with manufacturers that are also selling on Amazon, and they even put a different label on the product. And as they are going towards different categories, leaf nodes or child categories, they don't cannibalize each other because, as Zach was mentioning before, they keep everything separated. So yeah, you can put a different label on the product, being the same product. Is if you label it differently and you market it differently, then you can put a different price on it, and you can make a better profit. I mean, you can put a $1, $2 difference between the products, and you can get just mentioning that this product is I don't know, an improved version of this one, having a higher price, you can make more profit here than the other one, being separate categories. Okay, it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's a perfect strategy. And especially what Zach was mentioning before, keep everything separated so you can track the improvement or not of each of the products in each of the categories. Okay, your BSR, how are you doing compared to your parent category against the other product, etc., etc., etc. Even if you have the same parent category, that I believe it's what it's going to happen here, you can have different leaf nodes or child categories, and you can measure how those two products are kind of competing inside of the whole parent category. So it's a very interesting strategy and way to make more money. Definitely.
Yep, absolutely. Great question.
Yeah.
We have just a couple minutes here, so I think we'll go through the rest of Mars' questions and then call it there. Does power keywords consist of high search volume, sales and IQ score, 0 to 1 title density, and achievable CPR? I don't know what you mean by power keywords, but again, high search volume, high sales, high score when it comes to how your search query performance report scores it, can definitely be your volume keywords, right? That you can kind of consider as something that you want to go more aggressive for. It has a lot of search volume. It sees a lot of sales, surely. And then H10 question, Magnet IQ score, Cerebro IQ score. The higher the number, the better. What does a conversion share and click share mean? Yeah. Um, so I believe when it comes to Magnet and Cerebro, actually, I think that the lower the score, the better. Like the lower the number. I could be wrong there, but we can double check that. And then what does a conversion share and click share mean? That means that out of those search terms, it depends what you're looking at here. Exactly what percentage of the clicks or the conversions that you're getting for that particular search term is, right? And again, we talked about the SQP report and how you can essentially look at something like impressions and see how much brand share do you have for that particular search term amongst the competitors in that page, right? So I think that is your question there. Anything else to add there, John?
Yeah, I mean, what you were mentioning before about the power keywords. Yeah, we don't use like that naming here of power keyword, but definitely if you have a high search volume keyword, with high sales, and what you were mentioning regarding to the IQ score. Let me show you here so we can look at it together. The One second. Yep, here it is. So your IQ score is going to be the search volume versus the number of competing products. So if you have, yeah, as it says here, a high score means that relatively high number of searches compared to the number of competitors. So if you have a high score, means that you have a high number of search volume, but not that many competitors for that specific keyword. Okay, so having a high score, I believe it should be better for us here. Now, because we want high score means relatively high number of searches compared to the
Yeah,
number of competitors. Yeah, so definitely I would prefer a high score
yeah.
here.
Higher score
And
is better.
yeah, and then your CPR is going to be the amount of units that you need to sell in 8 days for you to rank organically in the top of the first page. Okay, so it's a great indicator. Remember that everything that you're going to find in Helium 10, it's historical data. Okay, so everything that we have here is going to be an approximate number. Okay, so but it gives us a very very good sense of what is it that we need to sell for this specific keyword. Okay, so we can rank organically in the top of the first page. Okay, so going to your second question here. Well, we already went to the IQ score. Yeah, higher the number the better, in my opinion. What is a
Yep.
conversion share and click share mean? Exactly what Zach was mentioning. If you go to your SQP report, you will see that you have a conversion share and a click share. You will have the percentage for the whole marketplace, and
Yep.
you for that specific search term. Remember that we're talking here about a specific search terms. So you will go, for example, for pre-workout drink on your SQP report. Okay, and we'll see that you have a market share of I don't know, a specific percentage, and then you will have your conversion share and click share. That means that what is it that you are converting and getting clicks into your listing compared to the total market share. Okay, so it's a very good metric because we can determine where is it that we are, maybe we're missing. What is it that we're missing? If we have a high amount of impressions, this is what we call the ICAP funnel here at Mac, and Ali can help us there with the link. So let me go here. I always miss the links. Ali, amazonguy.com/icap, maybe. Let me
Yep.
see if I can.
I believe
There
so.
you go.
Yep.
Finally. Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much. So here you will see if you have a huge amount of impressions, and then you start seeing the funneling that goes, then you have less share of clicks, less share of to carts, and less share of purchases. That means that you have a good awareness. You're creating a good awareness, but you have a conversion issue. Okay, so then you know that you have to work on your listing images, conveying exactly what you want on your listing for the people not to be confused when they get into your listings. But now if it's the opposite, if we have less impressions but more clicks but more art to cars and purchases, that means that we're going to have a higher conversion rate, and then we are leaving money on the table. We need to create more awareness. That means that we convert very good for that product, for that keyword, I'm sorry, search term, in this in this specific case for that search term, and that we can push harder and create more awareness to bring more people to our listing and make more money. Okay, so our search career performance report is, I mean, it's an A must, right, Zach, for us here. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful report. It's a before and after the SQP report in terms of the analysis that we make for our search terms on every client.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Mars says, thank you so much. Of course, we're happy to help. But unfortunately, we are out of time, and I know some of you, we didn't get to your questions. For any next live Q&A that we host, again, every Friday, join in early, get your questions in early, and that will get you a better chance of us going through them. So apologies if we couldn't get through all the questions today. But we are My Amazon Guy, and I want to quickly reiterate what we do here. And obviously, if you go to our website, myamazonguy.com, we have a suite of services that we offer, anything from PPC management to SEO, troubleshooting, any sort of catalog work or trademark registration and designs, right? We can include all of this in a full service package for anyone that needs ongoing Amazon management for their accounts. Feel free to check out our website, request a quote, or call us at this number. Send us an email if you have any questions about our services. Just to get a reintro to us, my name is Zachary Useche. I am a senior brand manager here at My Amazon Guy. John Urban is also a senior brand manager here at My Amazon Guy. And you can follow us on LinkedIn. We're both pretty active there. And send us a message if you have any questions, anything that you need help on. But typically, we also like to post different daily tips that can be helpful to any Amazon seller there. So you'll see our banner links at the bottom. Awesome. John, anything else out on your end?
Oh, we had an amazing time as usual. Thank you, everyone. Amazing questions. Hope to see you back next Friday. I'm pretty sure that Noah is going to be back next Friday. I'm not sure,
I
but
think
either
so.
way, yeah, either way, it was a pleasure answering all of your questions. Hope we could give you some insights and help you, of course, on your Amazon journey. And until the next time.
Until next time, happy Friday, everyone.